Today we are doing the gluten-free pizza.
Okay, today I'll be showing you how to make gluten-free pizza. The starter of this recipe was actually a biscuit recipe that we were trying and decided, oh, this would make good pizza crust. So we've modified it a little bit and turned it into a pizza crust. I'll put the original biscuit recipe on for you, and along with this recipe that we're going to be using today in the description below.
Okay, first thing we're going to do is turn our ovens to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. Take margarine or your regular cooking spray, and a pizza pan or a cookie sheet will do if you don't have one, and we're just going to start by greasing that up. Alright, our ingredients today are, we'll start out with 1 cup of white rice flour. It's very important that you use white rice flour versus brown rice flour, or your dough will end up thick and lumpy. Next ingredients is 3/4 cup of cornstarch, a teaspoon of xanthan gum, half a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda, don't confuse those two, half a teaspoon of salt, 5 tablespoons of margarine, a cup of milk, a cup, or I like to use at least 16 ounces of mozzarella cheese, or really any cheese you want. I like it extra cheesy. And some pepperoni, also how much you want, or if you want to use sausage or whatever your favorite pizza ingredient is. About half a jar of pasta sauce, or you can just use a small can of tomato sauce. And then our seasonings, I have Italian seasoning, onion powder, and garlic powder. Okay, we're going to add all of our dry ingredients first. Just take your cup of white rice flour, your 3/4 cup of cornstarch, and your xanthan gum, baking powder, and salt. Just blend up all your dry ingredients really good, and then we're going to add our 5 tablespoons of margarine and stir until we get it into like pea-sized clumps. So just cut that in real good. Right now we're going to add your 1 cup of milk and a cup of cheese. I told you wrong in the ingredients. You need a cup of cheese to go in the dough, and then the rest of the cheese will go on top of the pizza. Let's mix that in. The recipe says to add garlic to the dough because that's how the biscuits are done. I always forget to do that, so it never actually goes in my dough, but it will go on top of the pizza, so it tastes just as good that way. So just mix this up here until everything's blended together, and then we are ready to add the dough to the pizza tray. Okay, we're gonna just scoop all of our dough out onto our tray. Make sure you scrape it all out of the bowl here. It's kind of stiff. That's good. So you just take your hands. Okay, gluten-free dough is very sticky, so the best way to deal with it is get your hands wet. Just with some water, and then that way the dough will not stick to your hands. And we're just gonna spread it out here evenly. You get a nice even layer of pizza dough. See, sticking to me. You might have to wet your hands a couple times. I just spread this out. It's actually fairly easy to spread out as long as your hands are wet. Of course, it doesn't have to look perfect. Right, now we're just going to take our sauce, dump it onto our dough. And then take your spoon and evenly spread it out. Alright, even though this pasta sauce I'm using is already pre-seasoned, I still like to add my own. So we're just going to take our seasoning and sprinkle that on there. And now we're going to take our extra cheese and evenly disperse that across our pizza. Just get a nice layer. Now to add your favorite topping. Now to put it in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And our pizza is done, all nice and lovely. Alright. There's more to eating gluten-free than just salad.